Hi, my name is Karma. Welcome to today's video. A couple of videos ago, I made this mushroom forest that you see behind me, and it's alright. It was pretty late when I recorded it. It was on the day that I was supposed to be posting it, not that anything's different tonight, but point is, I was tired and I really just wanted to get it over with, and so I just kind of blew through it and didn't really do that great of a job, or at least not as good of a job as I feel like I can. So today we're going to be tackling it once again, and we're going to be redoing it with like more dimension, more variety in items, and in custom designs. Because I've gone code shopping quite a bit since I did this, and so I've got a lot more to work with. And so yeah, we're pretty much just gonna jump right in and start trying to redo it. So starting off, I did this little segment right here near the bridge because while planning my island, I decided that I wanted the left side right here of this beach on the other side of the river to be accessible. And so I did that little stepping stone that you just saw in order to make that really clear. And now here I'm clearing out a space for a little cliff segment that I want to do. I want to do a few of these around this forest just to add some dimension and also give me a place to put some more of those spacecore type items like the star fragments and crescent moon chairs and that sort of thing. So that did require some adjusting of the trees and the furniture and the pathing around that area to make it look a bit more natural and also just to give me enough space while still keeping those trees around it, because you can see that I moved that one tree further. That was because it wouldn't let me build a cliff there otherwise, but I couldn't just leave it empty because it would look really weird and out of place. And so yeah, I had to figure out how to do that, especially with the pathing. So then here you can see that I've cleared out this whole area of trees so to give me some room for a little star pond. So I'm wanting to do a bunch of these just scattered around the island just so that it's very cute, like on the map and also just in person when you're seeing it. I really wish that I could do some smaller ones as well, just around, but unfortunately I think that given our terraforming tools, this is the smallest thing that you can make. Like, you can't have pointed edges or anything like that, and it looks weird if you try and do them without, like, pointed corners or anything. I don't know if I'm wording this weirdly or anything, but yeah, I'm scattering some custom designs around it just to make it blend in and also just generally look really cute. So yeah, I did some of those star rocks and those little galaxy starry patches, like the ones I'm doing right here. And then I placed a few little items around the star clocks and the nova lights, again, just to help it blend in with the area and not just be a sudden bam pond right in the middle of everything. So then returning to this little cliff section that I built up, I'm putting a bunch of little custom designs on top, as well as several furniture items, and once again discovering that placing finicky little items in a tiny little space where there's no walking space is very difficult. So yeah, I really struggled trying to get everything placed in the right spot while also giving me a way to get back down. So I didn't place everything in every single little tile that's possible, but I did my best. One thing that I've noticed while walking around on the island, like through this forest, is that visibility is a huge issue. No matter where you have the camera, you cannot see the path. So I did some adjusting with the trees and with the path itself to try and help with that and make it a little bit less dense around that area so that you can see where the path is going and where you're walking and that sort of thing. Just generally making it easier, a little bit more accessible. So you can see I'm widening this path here, and I did that a little bit earlier as well with the galaxy blob, like a little bit earlier down the line, just so that it's not quite so hidden behind the trees, but also still adding a little bit more variety. And then I'm doing the same thing here as well. So like just generally, you know, fixing it up and that sort of thing, adjusting the custom designs as well. And then I'm going through adding a few more trees here and there. I'm not fully finishing the top part, that's going to be done in the next video, you'll have to see exactly what happens in that video, what I'm gonna put up there. But yeah, I add a couple more custom designs, and here I'm placing some trees on the top side of the pond to really integrate it into the forest and just make it all fit in nicely and of course still be a forest. And now here I'm moving the campsite over so that I've got this big open space right here. I'm moving the campsite somewhere in here so that I can do this next little build that you probably saw in the thumbnail and in the title and that sort of thing. But yeah, I am going to be doing that in just a second while I get distracted with these cliffs, apparently. I recorded this a while ago, and so I forget what order I do things in sometimes, but apparently instead of continuing with the campsite, I do everything else possible before time traveling to get it actually built in. So yeah, I did those little cliffs up near the top of the path, and I'm also just placing in a few more items and that sort of thing. And now here I'm clearing out some trees and such to give space to make a path out toward that campsite area, and we're going to be ignoring Whitney with her thought bubble. How dare she? But yeah, doing that, and now here we're actually making the path itself. So I decided to use the starry path just for the beginning of it to break things up, and then switching over to the mushroom and fairy and flower path that I've been using for most of this forest. Because I feel like it's very fairy core, just kind of, you know, mystical, magical, and that works for this area that I'm doing, which is like a witch's campsite. So I've got that suspicious cauldron right there, and now I'm placing down this glowing moss pond, which I absolutely love. I've been going to Treasure Islands a bunch recently, and I keep finding all these items where I see them, and I'm like, ooh, I would have never thought to use that, but that's actually perfect. So the suspicious cauldron and the glowing moss pond are some of those, and that really got me thinking more about what sort of thing I want to do for this area, because I was planning out my island, and I was like, okay, everything's done. Oh wait, I don't have the campsite anywhere. So that's how this area came to be. I decided I've got this whole area that's just trees and mushrooms, so we're putting it in there, and we're doing a cute little witchy build for that. So yeah. Building out the area a tiny bit more, mostly just pathing all through here, but I do place a couple little items around, like this Nova light right there, that mushroom lamp a second ago, and also like adjusting everything to make it all look nice together. And then I do these couple star items right down there as well as up here, and I'm leaving that spot open, so you'll see in just a second, I think, what I'm going to be doing with that spot. It also fits with the witchy theme. That's actually part of what inspired me to do this area. I found these custom designs, and I went, ooh, okay, I could do something with that. That's going to be fun. But of course, placing down custom designs first just to have something underneath it, and so I don't have to pick it all up and put things down afterward. So yeah, just filling in the area, and now it's time for another one of these tiny little shops. I am obsessed with these things, and this is far from the last of them that you're going to be seeing. I am going to make so many on this island. I have plans for at least 2 more, and likely as I keep doing builds, I'll get more ideas for them, and you'll keep seeing them. So yeah, I'm making a little potion stand right here, so I'm using these cute little custom designs that I found, and the item that I've got in the middle here is the glowing moss jar shelf. Something about those glowing moss jars are just so cute. I'm obsessed with them, and I figured they'd really be perfect for this sort of like witchy theme and acting as little potion bottles or something similar. Maybe they're potion ingredients, you don't know. I don't know either, even though I'm the one that made the island. I say that it's up to interpretation. It's whichever you want it to be. If it's potions, if it's ingredients, just pick. But yeah, scattering some glowing moss around, as well as filling in the area with a couple more items like trees, and well, trees aren't technically furniture items, but you know, just filling in the area in general. And then we go back to this last little cliff blob that I built up here up top. So again, just filling it in with whatever I can. I placed a tree up here. That's interesting. That adds some more dimension and also helps it blend with what's below a little bit, along with that mush lamp. Here I kind of struggled with the placement of items and like the height there. But yeah, that's all that I have for you. I hope you enjoyed it and you think it looked good. So that is going to be all for today's video. I gotta say, I'm loving the witchy aspects that I'm adding into this. I didn't intend to do this from the start, but then I couldn't find a better hat other than this witch hat, and now it's just kind of spiraling from there, so you know what? This is now a space core and witch core island, okay? Sound good? I mentioned in a previous video about like mixing themes, but I should have worded it better as like mixing seasons, because pretty much every time I pick one theme, a little something else starts to sneak in there. So I hope you like the additional theme as well now. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please make sure to subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. And I'll see you in the next one. Karma out.